So I want to take you on the charts now, and I want to show you a trade that I recently took and executed with this exact strategy that I've shown you. I always like to go through my trades and show you how I'm following this strategy exactly as I'm teaching it and how you can get success from it. I'm also going to show you with the new indicator now. So I'll show you this trade breakdown with the indicator, and I'll start taking you through the components of the indicator as well, and just show you how it's tied in perfectly to this methodology that I've been sharing with you today, and how it can change your trading in a massive way, because it allows you to see things that you can't really see as well. So let's come on to the chart over here. So let me show you a few things with the indicator, and then I'll break down this trade for you. All right, so most of you guys should have the indicator on your chart at the moment. I'm just going to walk you through some of the settings here and show you how it works. So it's basically working in combinations. So if you put on your chart, you're going to see that the chart's going to be worked up over here. It's going to mark out all these liquidity lines for you. And it's not just marking up every liquidity line. It actually has a specific logic and a specific sequence that it's running through. So it's only marking out very valid liquidity lines. It's not just marking up all of them. It's marking out our CSID levels. It's marking out the bullish ones, the bearish ones. So what is happening now is it's working on two different logics at the same time. It's working on a neutral, where it's going to detect all the bullish setups and all the bearish setups. If we want to select only the bullish setups, we can turn bullish, and then it's only going to look for the bullish setups. So if we can look in this example over here, what it's doing is it's creating a projection. So you can see it's projecting the higher time frame chart, and it's projecting the lower time frame chart. So now we can align the higher time frame with the lower time frame without having to look at different frames. It's all in the same frame. You can see it's automatically detecting sweeps for you. So this would have been an entry right here, guys. You can see we had a sweep detected. We had the CISD line automatically drawn for us. You see, it automatically drew the CISD level. So this would have been our entry at the CISD level right over here. Let's mark this out. This would have been our entry points. Right over here. So oftentimes when it breaks it, you can see price broke the CISD, came back to retest it, and it's taking off from here. So where's our targets? Our targets are going to be the closest liquidity areas over here. So I wouldn't be surprised, because you can see we've got a higher time frame reversal occurring, and we can see we've even got a fair value gaps that are printed on this higher time frame. So you can see in this region over here, we've got a fair value gap, which price is most likely going to take out right now. And then we've got these liquidities over here. So once we can anticipate the reversal, we can see that the draw on liquidity is going to be these liquidity levels, or these fair value gaps. That was price is going to go to take out that liquidity. Because remember, it's always traveling from liquidity to liquidity. In this area over here, it was a failure. So you can see we got a sweep occur, we got the CISD. Price was not able to recover the CISD level, and then it failed. So not every setup is going to work. Trading is not 100% guarantee. These things do occur. So how this indicator works, it's working on higher time frame logic. You can see this is the higher time frame logic and the lower time frame, and it's working on certain presets. The presets that I have programmed in here at the moment is it's a 1 minute. If you're on the 1 minute time frame, it's going to be using the higher time frame as a 15 minute. If you're on the 3 minute time frame, it's going to be using the higher time frame 30 minute. If you're on the 5 minute lower time frame, it's going to be using the 1 hour higher time frame preset. If you are on the 15 minutes lower time frame, it's going to be using the 4 hour. And if you're on the hourly time frame, it's going to be using the daily. So these are the current presets. So right now I'm on the 3 minute chart. So this is a 3 minute chart, and then this over here is the 30 minute. So it's just allowing us to be able to look at two time frames at the same time, and then it's applying the sweep logic on the higher time frame. So the lower time frame is only a result of what's happening on the higher time frame. This is why this strategy works so well, because it's first confirming it on the higher time frame. Once it's confirmed on the higher time frame, then it's projecting it onto the lower time frame, which is giving us more confidence in our trades. So see, Now I'm on the 3-minute. If I go to the 5 minutes, so remember, the higher up you go, the stronger the confluence is going to be. So you can see over here, I'm going to turn back on the bullish and bearish. So if I click neutral, now it's going to find bullish and bearish setups for me. It's going to find both of them. So I'm on the 5-minute chart, which means this over here is my 1 hour. Also, if you look in the corner, we've got a dashboard which shows us the model. So right now we're in the 5-minute, 1 hour model. If I go to the 15-minute chart, now it's going to show me I'm on the 15-minute model and the 4-hour model. So now it's observing a 4-hour higher time frame, and then I'm on the 15-minute over here. And you can see here we got a lot of manipulation going on. Just observe how price likes to take out these highs in this example. So you can see this is a candle high, got taken out, candle low, got taken out with this big like Darth Vader wick over here that takes out both sides. So it just shows you it's so nice to be able to see both time frames at the same time. If we come onto the hourly chart, you can see here hourly and daily. So if we look at this chart right now, guys, and this can be a great trade to keep your eye out for because it's presented to us. I mean, this indicator makes it so easy to find trades. Look how easy that was. I just turned this on and we found a trade. So we've got a daily sweep occurring. You can see daily sweep, which is a very strong chance of reversal. Also, if we look at this chart, look at this coin here. Look how in the last few days it's done 300%. So there's going to be a big reversal that's going to occur on this chart. It's coming. It's definitely coming. And if we can see a failure to displace on a higher time frame, like we see here, we've got this is a 1-day candle failing to displace. So now if we go into the 1 hour chart, the projection chart, which is this chart here, this is the 1 hour. Just mark that there for you. 1 hour. This is the 1 hour chart. And this is the daily chart. You can see in the dashboard in the corner, 1 hour daily model. And then it's also giving you the countdown of the daily chart. So we know in 12 hours, this candle is going to close. When this candle closes in 12 hours, it's going to be a stronger confirmation for us that a reversal is in play. So it's marked out the sweep level over here. You can see this is the manipulation point over there. What's great about it is it just marks it on the chart for you, so you don't have to be too concerned if it was right and if it was not right. It really makes it so easy. So you can see, then we get the CISD. Can you see the CISD is the candle or series of candles that causes the manipulation. So you can see these are the series of candles that cause that manipulation. Marks out CISD. So now what we want to wait for confirmation for this trade, so you want to wait for the CISD to break. If we can see a break of the CISD, that's going to be our entry. And then what will happen is as this candle closes, the algorithm is going to produce the liquidity levels. So if you see over here, I'll do it manually. You can see this was the previous day's daily chart, and this is the daily low. So as soon as the algorithm closes on the day, it's going to mark out liquidity levels, which are targets, which this could be a very good target because price will come back to take out the low of this candle. That's just how it works because there's so much liquidity. So many people entered their long positions here who are still holding their positions, and there's tons of stop losses here. So if we break the CISD level, price is going to come down to this liquidity, but we can also target liquidity lows. So you can see this is a swing low. This is a swing. Yeah, that's the only swing low. So this could also be a target. So we can use swing lows targets and previous daily candle lows or whichever algorithm or whatever model you're operating with on. So basically that's how these presets work. Keep your eye out for this trade, guys. Mark this on your chart. Mark out the CISD level on the hourly and just notice how well it performs around this level. I really want to get you guys really focused on the CISD levels because they're truly amazing. So let's get back into the settings. So over here, we can choose between bullish, bearish, neutral. You can choose bars back. So if you want to see more of the setups, you can just go more bars back and it'll show you more. If you want less, you can just put less, like 100 if you want to see less, and you'll see that it'll clear up all of those and it'll only show you the most relevant ones. So it's up to you if you want to see a lot of the previous setups, because it's quite nice. You can actually go back and you can see how many of the setups worked, how many didn't work. You know, you can look over here. This one worked very well. So if I turn off, if I just focus on bullish, because sometimes it get confusing, look how well this setup worked. Sweep, CISD. If you enter on the CISD, look at that. If you enter on the CISD, look how well it respected that level. Broke, came back, retested, and then just took off from that point. So it's really awesome, guys. I'm really loving this indicator so much. So let's get back to some more settings. If we turn on, we go neutral, so it's going to show all of them again. So you can go bars back here. You can choose between automatic, which is going to automatically select the presets. So when you go on the 1 hour, it's going to immediately adjust for you. The 5 minute immediately adjust, the 15 immediately adjust. It'll automatically adjust. If you get onto a time frame, like for instance, if I go into a 10-minute chart, I'll show you a 10-minute chart, there's no preset on there. So it'll say warning over here, and then nothing will happen on the chart because it's not set to the 10-minute. So then you'll just have to go to a preset time, and then it will show again. Market bias. So then here we've got the higher time frame candle. So we can change the candle colors if you want. Over here, you can change the candle colors. You can turn off the higher time frame candles if you don't want to see them. Change the colors if you want more candles. So if you want to see more logic of the setup, this is quite cool because it'll actually show you more higher time frame candles, and it plays out the logic really nice. It applies the logic to all of the candles. I've just found that 4 candles is good enough. But if you want to have more candles, you will develop your own method of trading with this strategy and with this indicator. If you want space between the candles, you can increase space between the candles. And if you want to increase the size of the candles, you can increase the size of the candles. So it's up to you. Here we've got the fair value gaps. So we've got fair value gaps between the candles. I'll see here. I think we saw it on a lower time frame. So here we go. You can see the fair value gap between these candles here. If you want, you can change the color. You can even take it off if you don't want it on there. But I like to have it on there because then you can see the draw on liquidity. See, in this example over here, this is going to be very bearish because it's hit an extremely high point. So if you can see prices at a very high point, and we've got this displacements happening on a higher time frame, when you're on a lower time frame, it might not be the best idea to look for long positions. So then you can just turn on bearish positions, and then you'll keep yourself safe. So here we go. We actually have a trade in play that we could enter. You can see we got a sweep happening on the 30-minute time frame here. We got the CISD. If it breaks that CISD, could be a great place for a short position because it's also coinciding with our daily situation over here. So you can see over here, if it breaks this CISD, this is going to be a big short. So the higher the time frame you're on, the bigger the trade you can make. If you want to do more of a swing trade, you just do it on a higher time frame. If you want to do more scalping, you come onto lower time frames, and then you scalp on the lower time frames. So let's go through some more of these settings. Here we go. We've got the candle sweeps over here. You can change the color. You can increase the size of all the details. We've got bullish, CISD, bearish. You can also change all those details, line thickness, liquidity lines. And now we've got candle equilibrium, which I haven't had turned on, but I'll turn it on now. Sometimes it can get quite busy, but I'll show you what it does. What it's doing now, it's marking out 50% of the candle, which is a very, very good confluence. You can see over here, it projects these EQ or these equilibrium boxes. So you can see over here, what it's done is it's measured the candle. I did do a training on this. Measures the previous candle, the 50% of that candle. 50%. And there you go. And then it projects it onto the chart. And if price is able to stay below this 50%, it's showing more of a bearish confluence. So you can see it projects this box over here. And now you can see price is rejecting into the box. And that can be an area to access continuations is through these boxes. It gets a bit messy if price is in more consolidation phase. But you can see over here, it works on a specific logic sequence. You can see over here. This would have actually been a good setup. So we got the sweep, we got the CISD. When price broke the CISD, it came to retest. And then look over here, price is able to hold the equilibrium box, 50% reject into it. Next one, it holds the box, and then it takes off. So it can keep you on track. They're really great to have. You can see over here, another great example. Price breaks CISD. This would have been our entry. And you can see price is above the 50% line. So that's confirming to us that it is staying above 50% of the previous candle, and that's showing strength. Then price comes up, comes back down. This could be our continuation into the box. And then price holds above this box, breaks above the box again over here. So we can just use it to pay attention to the condition of the market. If the market's turning against us or if it's respecting these levels, these equilibrium boxes are fantastic. You can see right now price is broken, staying below this 50% EQ, which is fantastic criteria for us to stay within a bearish bias. So we've got the EQ boxes. Then over here, we've got candle high and candle low, where it's going to work. It's going to calculate for you our previous day highs, previous day lows, previous week lows, and these become liquidity areas. So right now, the algorithm is only showing the daily high and low and the weekly high and low. We're currently working on the other attributes. So these two aren't showing yet, the 4 hour and the 1 hour, where will show you 4 hour highs, 4 hour lows, if you want to start scalping on lower time frames. But the new model, this is version 1. Version 2 should be ready in a couple of days. We've added a whole lot more features, and they're really going deeper into the logic. But I just wanted to create a working model for you guys so you guys can get into using the indicator and start practicing. We've also added in a whole lot of other features which are coming soon. But right now, this is all we really need. So look at this example here. You can see it's operated perfectly. Price is respecting the previous day high. Look at that. Price is respecting. Price taps in previous day high. Let me just reverse back to here. Let me reverse a little bit more. So when it happens, so you can see price is hitting previous day high. We can drop into a lower time frame then. If we want to get more of a confirmation of an entry or lower entry, let's go into 1 minute. Because we know when price gets to a previous day high, we're going to get a reaction. So look here. We see previous day high. Now it's hitting previous day high, which is our higher time frame liquidity. Plus we're getting a sweep occur. This would have been the perfect place to enter. So where would we have entered in this example? We would have entered at the break of the CISD level over here. So let me mark that out. CISD, stop loss above manipulation. Target, we can target the lows. So you can see if I play this out. See, there it breaks the level. So now we would have entered. And then we can start observing with our equilibrium levels as well. You can see over here, look, price is staying underneath this equilibrium. Can you see it's rejecting into the equilibrium, which is showing us that price is staying below that level. And then finally we get displacement occur, and then we get drops to the downside. Okay, we're seeing all the bullish setups as well, so we can take bullish setups off in this scenario, so it doesn't make the chart too messy. But you can see this would have been our target hits over here. Because we would have targeted these lows at this region just for a small scalp, or we could have stayed in this trade if we wanted to. If we wanted to do a scalp, we could have done a scalp. We could have stayed in the trade, observing on our higher time frames. But you can see more displacement occurred to the downside. Bearish. Oh, there we go. That's much better. So you can see this would have been another re-entry. Look, perfect re-entry. If I come back to this area, you can see over here, you can see we get another sweep occurring on our higher time frame. And you can see price fails to displace. We can wait for the CISD to break. There you go. Look at that, guys. When price usually breaks CISD, we get this melting of price. So that could have been another nice short entry. But then I think we had a big recovery here. Let's see what happened next. Is price respecting? See, we got another CISD over here. You can see the CISD box. Look how price is respecting that level. See, price going to go further down now. And there you go. Price just melts down. So we could have got our first entry would have been here. We could have got two amazing entries on this. Entry 1 would have been over here. And this would have been entry 2. Just following the system, following the sweeps, entering at the breaks of the CISD. I mean, look at this. Look, This just shows you the accuracy of the CISD levels. The CISD level was broken and it came back to retest. Sometimes it will not be exact, like there's no exactness when it comes to trading, but we can get it as close as possible. You can see price came back to retest the CISD level. It stays below the 50% equilibrium, which is giving us an extra confidence that price does in fact want to go down. It drops down and then we get this big melting down again. So it's just showing you all these components, how they work together. This indicator is designed to be fractal, so it'll work on multiple time frames. Oh, and another feature I didn't show you, which is great, it's got a setting here. So this is the automatic setting. So it'll automatically align these presets for you, or you can set custom. Custom means that whatever you've got selected over here, it will stay on that time frame. So if I select a 4-hour time frame and I go to a 1-hour chart, it's going to only show me that 4-hour higher time frame setups. See? So you can basically pick a time frame you'd like, and it will customize to that time frame. You'll see I'm on the 1 minute, but it's showing me a 4-hour setup here on the, because remember, everything is going according to the higher time frame logic, and then it's projecting onto the lower time frame. So if I go to 1 hour, you'll see here, changes to the 1-hour chart. I can go to daily, it'll change to the daily chart. So if we're on a daily, and then I can come onto a 5 minute, now I'm aligned with my daily. And you can see, all I'm waiting for to happen now is a break of this daily CISD level, and that's going to be a very good confirmation to look for a short entry. So yeah, guys, that's the rundown of the indicator. That's all the components, how it works. There's obviously the whole methodology behind it, which I've shared in this smart money trading course that we've gone through. Everything in this course teaches you all of these components in detail, so that when you get and use the indicator makes sense to you, and you can also use the knowledge and all the other details as well, because the indicator will do a lot for you, and then your own price action knowledge on top of that will just make this tool and this strategy very, very successful for you. Back to automatic. Now I wanted to show you that trade breakdown that I took on Ergo using this system. It's the exact trade that I took. I will show you now. It was over here. This is exactly where it occurred. So it'll just show you how the strategy works. And I've taken a few trades this week, mostly smaller trades, just testing out the indicator, and I've pretty much won 3 out of 4 trades this week. Just practicing the strategy, and all I'm doing is I'm just going through different charts, seeing the setup. It shows you the setup so easily, and then just waiting for the break of the CISD level. When that breaks, I just enter. Just been keeping it super simple. So this trade that I took, what I did was, this reversal strategy, the reason it can be successful is if you see a token like this, you can see Ergo's been pumping. If you see a token that's done, this is done like 327%, you just want to wait for it to get to a key level, because once it gets to a key level, there's going to be some reaction that's going to happen. It's going to happen. So what I did in this scenario, when I saw it was somewhere down here, I went and looked at the charts, and you guys know how much I love marking out fair value gaps. So what did I see over here? I saw a fair value gap. Look here. This was the closest fair value gap that was coming to. So what I did was I marked out this fair value gap, and then I extended it across, and I'm waiting for price to come to this fair value gap. And I always mark the middle line, the 50% middle line of the fair value gap. So what I saw was this. I was probably around here when this happened. So now I was anticipating that we were going to get some reaction off of this 50% level or within this level over here. So what did I do? Then I went onto a lower time frame. I turned on the SMCX. Now what am I doing? I'm just waiting for a candle sweep to happen in this region. So there we go. So you can see I saw a candle sweep happen in this region. Wait, let's see. There you go. I think I actually got taken out. I might have had a small loss over here on this one, but then I just re-entered at the 50%. You can see over here, tapped into this 50% level. Exactly. We got a sweep occur. I waited for price to break the CISD. And look at this, guys. Another example of a great trade we could have taken. Since this trade was super bullish, we could have just turned on the bullish section and just been trading any bullish moves that we get. This would have been one that would have been very successful. You can see over there, we get the sweep, we get the CISD level. Price breaks above the CISD level. We got the 50% equilibrium, and then it just takes off. Other 50%, you can see it's respecting it, takes off, respecting that one. And now it's coming to the 50% line over here. Let me make this bigger so it's easier to see. You can see it's tapping into the 50% line. I love using these 50% lines. They work super, super well. Then it would have seen a sweep happening. Oh, wait, I've got to turn on the bearish option here. There we go. Then we get a sweep occurring. You wait for the break of the CISD level. I think I entered a little bit early, actually. I was a bit naughty, but there you go. Break of CISD level. That would have been your entry. Then these become our targets, target 1, target 2, target 3. It hit target 1. I don't know if it made it. And then we would have been another entry. Look at that. So if you missed the initial reversal, this is what I was saying earlier. It doesn't matter if you miss the actual reversal because you can catch the continuation. If you missed this reversal, which is like what I caught, I actually caught this and I just traded it to around here. I exited at this liquidity because this would have been the first target. I actually exited the full position because I was actually worried because this coin was pumping so much. If a coin is very volatile, I'm not going to hold a short position for too long because I'm not sure if it's going to drop or not, since you can see, if you looked at the volatility of this coin, you would have seen. But if you missed this setup, you would have just waited for the continuation. And you can see we got a perfect continuation occur over here. Look at that. Perfect continuation. Got a sweep. Entry, break of the CISD. This would have been your entry right over here. Stop loss above the swing high, and we would target the liquidity. So first liquidity, second, third, any of these would have been a target that you could have taken. And then look, price just melted down. So this would have been a fantastic trade. This was 20% drop you would have caught. So guys, yeah, that is the SMC X indicator. That is the strategy. That's the methodology.